Yes, it is. And I am live now on my end, or at least I should be. So we are now broadcasting to both channels. So for those of you who may be joining in on my end, you may be getting the notification just now. You're seeing a nice view of the new MonsterArts Biollante special color version to be released in December for approximately $300. But yes, again, we're joined here with Ultrazilla. Thank you so much. And I'm Steven.
So Biollante, you mentioned him. You have him up. Let's talk about this. That is a biggie. Something a lot of folks have wanted for a long time.
To say the least, folks not only have wanted it, but at the same time, it seems like there are some folks who may want to delay on getting that, hoping that, price may come down or not. But the big issue here is that we have a window for folks who have a figure now where they can buy it. We have a confirmed release date. We have a confirmed price. Pre-order it or be comfortable sitting out. That's the name of the game.
This is it. It's not going to happen again. So, get it now and just get it now. It's a lot more pricey than the original one was, but the original one on the aftermarket is going for what, Steven?
Someone earlier this year, back in February, the meme has been going around, bought it for $1,000.
Lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money. So definitely jump aboard this because it's not going to happen again for sure. So I want to try something out here on my channel. Kaiju Danny says, Ultrazilla, I wonder if there will be an SH Figure Arts Devilman figure. So which Devilman are we talking? I'm thinking one of the later ones, because the original one was made into a Figure Arts not that long ago, and it's actually a really beautiful figure that I reviewed. So I doubt it, that we get another Figure Arts Devilman from that one, like that old one. Maybe one of the more modern versions of Devilman, the anime one, maybe the new Netflix one, the new-ish one.
Regarding Devilman, I personally don't necessarily have anything, let's say, to invest in it, but I do know that there is a Figma that I think is to be released of an original design by Takia, like he did for Big Chap and the Predator from Predator 2. I will say, though, it is definitely going to be overpriced. So if you're a fan of that sort of redesign, then definitely it looks to be good. But at the same time, expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And right, Figma has done that one. Right, the only one we haven't seen is the Crybaby version, the Netflix, which I've never watched. But getting back to Biollante, what we got here is like just it's honestly, if you have the original, and this is what me and Steven were talking about right before we started here, if you have the original, I feel like it's a hard investment to go in. I only see, and we got some nice turnarounds going at Tamashii's site. All I can see is brown, some new browns added in. For me personally, on the price, unless there's some effect parts come in with this, I don't see myself getting it, unless I just get it for the channel.
Right. The original, for those who may not remember, it has a light up feature. That's about it. And even then, the light up feature, it's either going to be red or yellow, nothing in between, no pulsating, no strobe effect, anything like that. So it's okay. We got to see Vines, a return of the light feature, and hopefully there's something else, because we kind of have to see something for those who originally purchased it to invest again. And then likewise, there still needs to be also that value for those who may want the original, because if they're just going to release it as is, well, we know, unfortunately, there will be folks who want to get that original. And Bandai will lose money. So
Yeah, I agree. So the other reveal was the GMK Radiant, whatever it's called.
Yes, I believe it is the Radiant Heat Ray version, and we
Version.
do
Yeah.
know that this one seems to be a bit mixed because NECA did theirs, which.
Hmm.
And there are folks who are kind of in between on this one. I like it. I think it looks good. I think the dorsal plates, we do have a nice bleed effect going from blue to a nice icy white at the tips, but there are some folks who really don't like that. There have been a couple of customs that I've seen out there. One recently that's popped up where it looks very good, which look great. But otherwise, I think this is an okay purchase on my end.
Definitely.
Make
I'm
a
getting
beam.
it.
Include a beam.
Yeah. Right. I that would be nice. I'm definitely getting it. I think I've always liked when GMK has lit up. Like I always thought that looked great, and I think this looks pretty good. Definitely better than the NECA in my opinion, which I thought was kind of messy. So yeah, definitely for me, because it's also under $100, just under $100. But I will get it, and I really loved the original version of that mold. I know a lot of folks didn't like it, but I liked it a lot.
My review of it, because I had a lot of quality control issues, I think the paint for the price didn't necessarily match up, but I think that ultimately it was a good figure. If they can make it better here, then absolutely, just include a beam. I would also like to see a mushroom cloud effect.
Oh, like some sort of something that you could put in the background or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So the next thing we got to talk about is, well, we have a lot to talk about, honestly. But, guys, if you have any questions regarding this, set them up here and we will check them out as we can. I don't know, Steven, because you're streaming from mine, I don't know if you're just mirroring mine. I don't know if you could grab things like I can, like these questions.
I am only able to see the questions that you are putting up on your end, but I do have an interesting point or two over here. Some folks talking about the price point of the new figures that have been announced, liking Biollante, wondering what the price. Again, the price for Biollante is going to be about $300 plus or minus some because of the yen conversion. As was said, GMK is going to be about $100. Some folks were asking about a rose form, which I agree. We definitely need to see. But Ultrazilla there, I think you're leading into something that was also revealed today. Just a couple hours ago. So if you wanted to go ahead and lean on into that, please do so.
Yeah, so we got, and this is an announcement from Bluefin, actually. They made a few announcements. We'll only talk about the Godzilla here, so they're like going specific here with SH. But they're doing a translucent blue Godzilla, which I'm assuming, Godzilla 2019, I'm assuming it's the same one that we got with the poster version, just without the paint over it. But this had to have been the SDCC exclusive for this, and it's going to be available on the Bandai Premium US site on July 16th. I believe at 6 p.m. I think I saw.
Yes, I do believe there was talk about it. I saw on Twitter about how they were changing the time. I don't know about that specifically, but I believe it's the 16th until the end of this month. So you have about 15 or so days. Actually, I think it's 15 on the dot. I don't do math for a living. So if you're looking to get it, you have plenty of time to do so. So this definitely looks like an interesting purchase for those who are looking to get it. On my end, I'm about to throw a picture up of it. So yes, it's interesting. I'll say that it looks fun, to say the least.
It does. All right, guys, something I want to say as we're approaching the time, like Steven on his end, and we're trying to make this a nice interactive feel between channels here. So I see a lot of questions on Steven's end, like flying through. So if you want to get your question answered more specifically and see it on screen, hop over onto my channel, leave your question there, check out all the images on Steven's channel, and I think that's a great way to go. And we'll show another question right now. Johnny C. Walker says, "Are there any Biollante X Plus or of the same quality at the top of your head that could scale closely with the SHM Godzilla figures?" Whew, well, there's only one big Biollante that I know of that was released rather recently in the last few years from X Plus, and that is huge. I think though the KKK, unfortunately titled Godzilla from SH MonsterArts, might scale okay with that one.
I've seen a couple of pictures myself. It scales decently, nothing over the top. It's not great. It just kind of barely makes it, just because of the height. So if you're looking to get Her Majesty, no, there's no X Plus aside from the 25 centimeter scale one. But in regarding Godzilla 89, well, you're pretty much looking now with the aftermarket prices going for. You might as well just get the X Plus or waiting for the NECA to come out to scale with the MonsterArts.
Right. Absolutely. I think the NECA is going to scale nicely with that MonsterArts. And I have a feeling that NECA is going to go pretty quick. If you haven't put in a pre-order anywhere, I suggest you might want to, because with a new Biollante coming out, that NECA is going to be a lot more valuable to a lot of people.
Yes, and that's also something else that's been pointed out plenty of times. Folks are saying they're going to get one figure and or the other to complement. So yeah. And as pointed out by somebody on my end, the Biollante Bio figure is going to be a hot seller. Yes, absolutely, it will be. Especially if there is an effect part that is revealed for the new one.
So our pal Super Mario Zilla says he doesn't know how he feels about the all blue Godzilla. It's an interesting choice. I don't know. It's just one of those like weird con variants. We don't get them that often. I guess the Explosion Godzilla was the last time they did anything quite like that, where it was just like, here's a orange Godzilla, which doesn't really look like anything. So we don't really get those in the line too much. I like it personally. I would love to see more of that, honestly, especially for like con exclusives. That's fun because it's something you don't have to get, you don't need. So for me, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now that if you already have it, you're good to go. This is a repaint. There's no need to get this except for folks who maybe missed out on it. Or if you're a completionist, then hey, more power to you. But at that point, maybe consider donating some money to charity as well if you're going to double dip that much.
Yeah, I hear you. But I like it. I think it's cool. It's going to be $88, and it's going to come out in August. It's really quickly going to be upon us. So I think that's pretty awesome. Takaju says, "Is there any news for any SH Figuarts Ultraman line?" And I haven't seen anything yet.
No,
nothing at all.
No, I haven't seen anything on from what I've been looking at. It looks like for this event they're focusing on the Dragon Ball reveals, because with Tamashii features this time, they're actually doing everything's online because of COVID-19. There's a virtual display room, which I'll go ahead and I'll link on my end in my chat. I think maybe you've done the same. I don't remember if you said, but you can look at all of the new reveals and the 360 spin view. And I think Ultraman has a minimal presence, if any. But anyway, there's Dragon Ball because, again, it's virtual, available worldwide. Dragon Ball is a humongous seller in the US. We do have Eva for Evangelion that's there. We apparently have some Gundam stuff. And now apparently we have MonsterArts with Godzilla and Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so that brings us to another question here. What are your guys' thoughts on the scale of the Monster Hunter figures? I'm pretty impressed personally, especially by Rathalos, and that's from Rafi.
Yeah. Scale wise, bring on the big boys. Then I'll answer that question.
Who are the big boys? You know better than me.
Yeah. So what we're going to be looking at is
I haven't played Monster Hunter since the Wii.
okay. So essentially, if they're going to be going off of what is popular, we're going to be hopefully seeing Devil Joe. We're going to be seeing Safi Jiva, probably Anjanath, all sort of T-Rex brute wyvern monsters. Those are all big, so hopefully we can see them. Glavenus, as someone made mention over on my end, that would be good, but yes, tail may cause a problem. What else are we looking at? We're looking at Zinogre, or if you go with
Zinogre's popular
back then, Jinauga. I like that's a better pronunciation. There are so many other ones that let's see them first before we can say that this is going to be an awesome line, because what they have so far looks good, but they can definitely show more, and I need to see more, and hopefully we'll be seeing that in about the next 15 or so minutes.
Yeah, I think we've been speculating that if anything, we're gonna, because they've already like, spoiled a lot of things. So if anything, we'll probably see something from Monster Hunter, because they've been going very, very hard on this, pushing this. So I feel like that is something that we might see coming up right now, which would be awesome. Because these figures look amazing. The Rathalos looks insanely huge. It looks like about the size of the King Ghidorah 2019. That wingspan is tremendous. Looks great. I'm really looking forward to these figures. Something different in the line is welcomed.
Right. They've tried different before, and it didn't work.
No. But
no, but
no.
This one looks like it should be better.
I think so. It just looks good. It fits well. So I don't know. I think hopefully it gets supported, because not only will supporting this help out the entire line, it'll help them get more, try to pursue other licenses. That's how these things go. If their pursuit of the license, doesn't, bring in any money, then what's the point? So I think if you like the way these look, I think you should hop aboard. And I think the prices are pretty good for what we're getting.
Mm-hmm. Right. And as someone pointed out, from what I'm seeing in comments, that Rathalos completely blows King Ghidorah 2019 out of the water. And as I'm looking up at King Ghidorah, I absolutely agree. Just eyeballing the comparison that we saw on the show floor with what they had, there's no reason why they couldn't have included folded wings with King Ghidorah, even if it would have rounded it up to an even $200. They should have just done that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they're able to accomplish here with the MonsterArts line, because of Monster Hunter potentially having a lower licensing cost. And then hopefully this may make also some folks say, where's the ball been dropped along the way?
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got here. Got another question here that I want to answer, because Figure Arts Ultraman Z, we already discussed that. So far, no presence of Ultraman. I would love to see Ultraman Z as Figure Arts. I watched the first 3 episodes, watched episode 3 tonight, and I really, really like it. So that could be a really fun, thing. I got the Ultra action figure here, which is really cool, of Ultraman Z. Review coming shortly. I already started it tonight.
Cool. I haven't watched it. I've been meaning to, and maybe that's something that can be done, because something like this is possible now. So, hey, anything can happen.
Yeah. definitely.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I'm really excited that is at the show, and you briefly mentioned that has a presence, there's a new EVA 01. I know there's a lot of crossover with fans of Kaiju, so I want to talk about that a little bit. We're getting like a 16-inch EVA 01. And this is interesting because a lot of people talking about how pricing is like kind of up. Here's something that's about like $160, 16 inches, has some diecast, not a ton. And it looks amazing. And it's, they're touting the articulation on this thing is going to be phenomenal. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. Like, hopefully it comes out in December. Also, this might be a thing where I have to decide on Biollante versus this EVA for the month of December. And I might get this EVA 01 because it just looks gorgeous.
I am sort of at a crossroads because I don't like. Oh, this is going to be a hot take, and I'm just waiting for the viewership to go. Pew. I don't like Evangelion. I don't like most of what Anno has done. I hate to say that, but I love the designs that have come out of his work.
Me too.
It's fantastic. I binged the original anime when I was working in my undergrad for college, and I was so disappointed, but I kept saying, I love this angel. I love how they presented this mech. So I'm fine with any of the merchandise. I'm fine with seeing the progression, and this Dyna action, however you're going to pronounce it, 400 millimeters. That just seems amazing. And then we have the Gridman coming out from, I think it's Max Factory, under the Good Smile label, whatever it may be.
Right,
the
big one,
giant Figma. That's going to be awesome. So, sweet.
That's a good call.
Bring it on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm definitely into that. So I gotta, let's see. Okay, this is a pretty general question, but we could do general questions here for the SH MonsterArts line. What kind of kaiju would you love to see? I want them to start announcing some Kong stuff, but man, that movie is like killing everything, killing every toy company, pushing everybody back. So honestly, I start giving me stuff from the Godzilla versus Kong, and I'll be happy. But that's really hurting everything.
Yeah. I kind of feel like right now we're seeing companies just grab something to fill that gap, which is probably why we saw Playmates do what they did the end of last year, beginning of this year, because of the movie delay. And then now we just have releases that are coming out from Tamashii Nations to fill in that gap during the time frame when they would have had product out. NECA, they're put on hold because I'm pretty this is a best guess. I'm pretty sure that their hiatus surrounds the fact that Playmates had the master license for the time span that Godzilla vs. Kong was supposed to be in theaters. Okay, this is out. Their product ends, and then it'll go back to whoever had it before. Well, now that's delayed probably into May, into what, maybe October of next year. So now this is all just a headache for everyone, and no one comes out on top.
No. And you know what? There's no guarantee the situation we are in the world is going to get any better. None. So for them to be pushing it back, unless there's something wrong with the movie, and I have a feeling there is, big. They should really start making plans to do this digital rent $20 rental, because they'll make a lot of money off that anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And I think they would do, I think they would probably make more money off of that, and it would be better off because I think it was Legendary who partnered with somebody else to do a watch along of all the MonsterVerse movies that have been out so far.
Yeah.
Twitter blew up. So if we can get everybody to just rent it for a weekend, have another one of these watch along parties, which, hey, maybe we can do something like that coming up at the end of July. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. On a quick note, because we're almost getting ready for the presentation, I've seen a couple folks keep asking me about MonsterArts Muto figures, male and female from 2014. I want to see them. I know you and I have discussed about a particular one or set that has been posted almost in a viral
Yes.
marketing campaign in certain groups. I won't mention any names, but I would love to see them. So
I would love to see him as well. Something official would be nice. But you know what? If there was a really nice looking third party one, I'd probably go for it. I haven't seen that yet though. It'd be cool if our dude that made the Kong would make it. That would be cool. He did a good job on that little Kong, so I would love to see that. Let's see. We got 11:57. See if I got any other questions here. That's good.
while you're taking a look for some questions there, I just wanted to point out that, again, the purpose of this is to first chat about some stuff that was announced recently, and then at midnight Eastern time, there is going to be an event with Tamashii Features where they are going to be, and that premiere is starting in less than a minute, apparently, according to YouTube, because I am here. They're going to be doing a presentation for SH MonsterArts. We don't know if it's going to be focusing on Monster Hunter or if it's going to be the line in general. So Ultrazilla and I are here. We're kind of hosting a watch along, and we'll be responding to whatever they may show. So head on over. I dropped the link in my chat a couple of times. It's on the official Bandai Spirits page. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop it again right now for those folks who need it. And that's what we're going to be chatting
dropping
about.
It as well. Here is the link on my end as well.
And looking at, they're talking about Monster Hunter monsters, Godzilla kaiju. Not too many questions, but still.
How do you think a 1998 Godzilla would sell? I think it would sell pretty good.
Bring it on.
I'd be on it right away. Like, no questions asked.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Get it over with.
That's always a fun one. Yeah, I would definitely have no problem with that.
For those of you who are not aware, there is Zamasu from Dragon Ball Super, who is announced to only be available to North America through the USAP Bandai site. Can't get it in Japan, can't get it in Europe. Well, you can if you know people who can get it to you. Do that, because apparently America is the only place that wants it. Do that, well, you're fine. It'll sell.
Do you still see me, by the way?
I do.
Okay, because I don't see my StreamYard anymore.
Uh-oh.
Where did that? Yeah. Let's see. I get back in here. I'm getting back. Oh. Let me see. All right, hold on. There we are.
Okay. So this is very odd because I'm taking a look at this. It's saying it started streaming 3 minutes ago for the MonsterArts presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Just popped up. All right, so we got someone who's dancing. So you're probably going to be able to hear it very faintly if you're on my end, just because the way that I have everything set up, it has to send all of the audio that's through my computer into my streaming. So I wish I knew what they were saying, though. Okay, so we do see the Godzilla stuff, so they're at least there.
顔出しでお送りしております。
なるほど。
よろしくお願いし
いつも
ます。
顔出してないのか。
顔出してないですね、おたまさん。
はい
今日出してくれたんやろ。
はい、どうぞ皆さん一緒に楽しみましょう。
やった
短い時間なんですが、よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いし
ます。
というわけでね、SH モンスターズブースこちらになります。どうですかこのブース。
Okay.
こっち側はね
Focusing
モンスターハン
in.
ターこの世界観が再現されていて、
They do look good.
それから
Yeah.
これがゴジラですね。
大好き
ここがドンドンと入ってます。初出しのものもあるんでね。
Hoping we do see something else Godzilla related. That's not going to be Blueberry Pie Godzilla.
だから見ていきましょう。
Yeah, we're having some technical issue now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, the sound is off.
言い間違いをしといてください。
No, what happened here?
Oh no.
Oh, say sound is back, guys. Hmm.
Wow. This is very funny to me because this reminds me of some of the Pokemon shows that they would do on the weekends where it's nothing big. It's something we've already seen before, but they hype it up. Let me try something here.
Those really look great.
Now, Nargacuga has the chance for 2 more that I know of off the top of my head repaints. It's going to be a green one and then a really cool moon-themed one where it's all blue and white. Lucent Narga.
Yeah, you would figure they're gonna want to get like some extra mold cash from this.
Yep.
Okay. Man, that looks great.
So now that he's pointing at the tail, they used the barbed tail tip, which for those of you who haven't played Monster Hunter, Nargacuga can flick its tail and it can shoot barbs out, or it can slam
That's
its
awesome.
tail down, and when it slams its tail, it shoots out barbs. So one of the things you can do is cut the tail off, and in some games that helps to stop that from happening. But good luck cutting the tail off, because it likes to move around a lot.
I am loving how these look.
I don't know, he's getting in very close, almost like he's never seen something that looks good before. He's like, he might fuse with it.
I do I like this guy's reviews a lot. If you have never watched it, Utafa, he does a lot of super robots, a lot of Transformers. So
I can't really say that I've had the chance to check him out too much. Unfortunately, I mostly stick to images.
yeah,
When stuff first hits, and then later on.
Johnny C. Walker has another question. Do you think we can get Liga Crus someday? Who's that? I don't know which one that is.
So, Monster
Liger.
Hunter Tri, the flagship monster. It's a Leviathan. It's really cool. Kind of looks like the Loch Ness Monster, but it's significantly more deadly because it has what are called shell shockers on the back of it, and it can just electrocute everything. So, look up... it has 2 subspecies, Ivory all white, which looks awesome. And then it has Abyssal, which it is only in water, and it's all black with essentially neon blue. So that color combination alone should excite you.
あいいね
That does sound cool. That's his little character there. That's always on his channel.
Okay. I would say that if we happen to see Laggy, it may be when they do a sequel to Monster Hunter World, unless they are actively going back to do games like Tri or 3U in Japan 3G. Because right now their focus is on Monster Hunter World. Because the Rathalos and Nargacuga models, for those of you who are not familiar, they did actually change them up. I believe they actually had to change all of the models from previous Monster Hunter games, and those are more accurate to the world models than what we've seen in the past.
あるしこう翼をねこう畳んでるバージョンそうそうそうこう2つあるのすごいね
Somebody in the chat for MonsterArts is asking about Dragon Ball.
That happens.
Talking about support for the wings, which they definitely could have done a better job of for King Ghidorah, but c'est la vie.
めちゃくちゃリアルなんかほんまにそういうのが生きてるみたいな感じですもんねモンスターが
こちらの販売時期なんですけども、お値段は一般店頭価格13,200円、税込みとなっています。
All right, so they just dropped a comment about the price for Rathalos and the release date, October 2020, 13,200 yen. So I'm hoping this means I'll move on to the next one, because it's not that I don't like talking about Monster Hunter monsters, but we kind of know this information.
Yeah. I mean, I'm loving looking at them, honestly. They just look so good. I hope everybody is as excited as we are for them. And obviously, you're going to see them on our channels here.
The only issue that I have looking at it well, not right now because it's not on the screen, is it looks a little too brown and or gray. It almost looks dusty, but even then, that's just personal opinion.
嫁さんもいるのにそんな給料でやってるの
See, for me, though, you know, if the figures are good, it's just going to be like, if the figures look good overall, I'm not going to be like comparing them to anything. So they just have to impress me as figures. But speaking of impressive, I really think this GMK looks so cool.
Yeah,
That is perfect.
Yeah, looking at it here, admittedly, I can't watch it in HD, the stream in HD, but it does look good.
でこれはゴジラボスがキングギドラなんで GMK ゴジラ
That is beautiful. That's going to be a definite for me.
系同様酒井祐一さんの手により放射熱線を放つ背びれと口の中が発光した瞬間のイメージを再現しています。あとはですね、ナイトシーンでの放射熱線のイメージを再現する
So Mr. Cake wants to know if he could have Godzilla 1962.
この背びれの放射熱線の部分より際立
You're going to send it to him, right?
つこれもね素晴らしいですね。
Yes, you.
じゃあいい
Okay, I get it. Your little character's next to him. Great.
Really out of focus there.
3号タバキ
1.3号束結構大きいですなんで縦で行くのその横で行ってよそれ測り方がまちまちなんで横で行ったり縦で行ったりするから
I wonder why they painted the teeth blue on this guy.
他のやつとプロポーションがちょっと違う 同じゴジラでも
I mean, his mouth is definitely lit up.
でこの僕個人的にはですねこの下半身が
When he charges up, his mouth gets lit up for a second before. So I guess that's the effect they're going for. I mean, you know, NECA did it as well, but man, that NECA's forget about.
Yes.
Now, I don't, like we were saying earlier before the stream, I don't know if NECA's newer version in the cool box looks any better, but the original one was not good.
Yeah, it's negligibly better. But for this, what I'm talking about, for his teeth, if the light is cut, and you're an artist, so you'll know what I'm talking about. If the light is coming from inside, why is the outside painted exactly the same as the in? That doesn't make any sense. I know why,
That's
because
true.
of cost, and it's this big, but it's just gonna bug me.
Yeah. Dorsal fins look pretty good though. Not bad.
Yeah, the promo stuff that they've released so far, obviously it's gonna look better because they got to get the light perfect and all that. But yeah, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Just confirm if it's got a beam. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Confirm the beam.
And there's a page up already for these guys, and there's nothing there. So I don't know. I hope so. I mean, the thing with this particular Godzilla is, they don't have to do a beam because this is the charging up before the beam. So there's that part of it. So we might not get a beam.
かっこいいかっこいい。
でちなみにこちらなんですけども、魂ウェブ、魂ウェブ商店で発売となっていて、価格が9900円ということで、発売日が2020年11月。
Got another question for you, Steven. Hey, Steven. So there is two Monster Hunter figures. Will you be reviewing both of them?
All of them.
Whatever they send out.
さあ、そしてお待たせしました。こちら SH モンスターアーツビオランテ。
And here we have now they're looking at the Biollante. And this I'm really curious about. So I see some yellow in there as well now.
何がすごいってまず先に一ファンから
He's definitely yellows and browns.
発売されてるんですけども、スペシャルカラーバージョンとなってまた発売してくれたっていうところがすごく嬉しいですね。やっぱりビオランテはすごく僕もゴジラの映画見てすごく印象に残った今から買おうとしてもやっぱり昔のバージョン
Again, that's one I'm very on the fence about. Oh, you're going ahead and grabbing yours.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not that much different. There are yellows and browns here that I didn't remember. What is the special color? There's more yellow on top, I think.
Yeah, it looks a bit more. It looks dirtier.
Yeah. Yeah, around the heart here, it does. You can see a little more. There's definitely more to it, but I forget. And I definitely forgot. Coming into this, how much color that this one has. In my mind's eye, I was thinking it was just more green, and it's not. There is a lot of color on this.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Another thing I want to make mention of.
And I knocked off all his tentacles.
Good job.
As I was taking him.
Wanted to make mention of is some folks may be seeing that the thorns, the spikes on her do look like they blend in very well. The original prototype for the one that's already released looked exactly the same, and they just used glossy black paint for those. Notice around this time frame, so we're at about 18 minutes or so in, you can see on the thorns that there's already paint chipping, specifically the right front one. My eye just caught that. So I'm wondering if they just took the original prototype, painted it a little differently, and put it out.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else really different about it.
Which, hey, okay.
Yeah.
People can get it again.
Fellow YouTuber Luminous wants to know, is the interior red less bright? That was hard to tell. I couldn't really tell.
I'm going to say no. Looking at mine, looking at this, I mean, admittedly, my glasses are off, so I can't see it perfectly, but that was something that I really looked at all day today looking at the one we have here that's spinning on my screen anyway.
Mhm.
It looks kind of the same.
Yeah, it looks the same to me.
ちょっとね、カメラには映らないんですけど、ちょっとこれだけ聞いてね、これどういうものかって改めて聞きたいですよね。聞いてみ
All right, we've talked about all 4 reveals. Now you're probably going to talk about Blueberry Godzilla.
軽くしてもらっていいですか。この色、
Maybe.
色すごいいいです。
Because that's a Bluefin exclusive, so they might not even... They might, but... Well, not really. It's a Bandai Premium, right? Bandai Premium.
I think that
Bandai
it's,
US.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be an event exclusive, so available at SDCC. Anywhere else they're going to have an event in the world, and then also at Tamashii Nation later this year. Because that's what they've done with the Dragon Ball exclusives whenever they've done the Dragon Ball tour. They've labeled it Event Exclusive Color Edition, which they did for this Godzilla. So I'm thinking that's the same deal. And because they now have a working, functional USP Bandai, that's what they're doing. Which, great.
Yeah.
As I drop a part of my tripod that I'm not using right now. Cool.
かっこいいです。いい色ですね。そうですね。いや本当に実は言うとビオランテ僕後から
Show us something else.
Yep.
Come on.
今ここで買えるっていうのはすごく嬉しいですね。はい。
Let's see one other thing here. I still think it without anything extra, man. This Biollante is gonna be a hard one for me to get. That's too pricey. I think that's way more than it was.
Yeah, it will definitely be a hard sell to those who are not in this 100% or didn't get the first one.
Mm-hmm.
すごいですよね。でビオランテといえばちょっとこう足がないデザインにはなってるんですけども、その劇中でねちょっとこう歩いたりするんですよね。だからこう実際に手に取ってこうちょっと動かしたりとか、ねこう触手をこう動かして、まあ飾るもよし。
Gosh, man, I'm looking at mine, looking at that one. It is not that much different.
Plus, it's the prototype. So, what may be different on the final product?
Right.
Not saying
I don't know.
There will be a significant difference on the final product, but if we're not seeing a huge difference now, because we all know that there will be a change in paint applications from the prototype to the final product, what will that change look like compared to what is already released?
Mm-hmm.
2020年の12
Some points out over here the back is more green, which I don't know.
So the back is pretty green. Here, I'll bring this back. It's not that like I lost another tentacle. I mean, honestly, the more I look at this, the more I look at that, it doesn't look any different. I feel like that is the same prototype as the original.
And you know, it could very well be. And if it is, then I mean, hey, they're just saving resources.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, there we go. YouTube went out on me for a second.
Uh-oh.
But we're good.
Folks, if you have any final questions, I don't know how long we'll talk afterwards, but please send them over. You want to do them on Steven's side or my side, feel free to come over and get your question lit up in front of us. That's always fun. Something new that I'm trying here.
It looks
Which
like
is actually nice. I do like it.
Yeah, on that note for for chat, it looks like there are some folks over in the presentation stream who are losing their minds at the price point for Biollante.
Yeah. I see that.
It's way too expensive. I'm seeing in Japanese the repetition of the 30 nearly 31,000 yen. I mean, not that I'm defending it, but do keep in mind that the original was released how long ago? So,
Yeah, prices definitely do change, and they have. So, I mean, all the prices across the board have changed. But on the same token, I feel like the Monster Hunter stuff is actually reasonably priced for the size. So, I don't know. And like I said, that EVA 01 looks like a really great deal as well.
これビオランテ可愛いでしょめっちゃいいねそれは可愛いいいねこれはいいさすがやね
ビオランテのサイズはちなみに何個タファですか？
better than the $1,500 aftermarket price. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
まず触手だけでサンタファぐらいはサンタファボリュームぐらいあります
I mean, I didn't see the person who bought the one at G Fest a couple years ago, but
1.5タファ1.5タファぐらいやめて余計ややこしになるから
Here's a very interesting question. Do you think they might be reissuing figures to recover from the sales loss since COVID-19?
yes and no.
It's possible, but I don't know.
大きさがだいぶ変化するんでそうですねタファだいたい7タファぐらいでいいんじゃないですか
タファで測らんと
I feel like reissuing figures right now or doing another line like MonsterArts, all of that is due to, you know, the Kong Godzilla movie being pushed back. Fill in the gaps, like Steven said earlier.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest part of that. I don't think we're gonna get anything else revealed here. I think this is it.
Could very well be.
They don't seem in any rush to be doing anything else.
ビオランテ飾って外からビオランテ光ってるの見えるっていうのもおしゃれでいいと思いますおしゃれおしゃれ
以上名残惜しい
I'm going to assume that they're going to go for a full half hour, so we got about another.
聖地モンスターアーツブースからは以上です
It says streaming 26 minutes ago, but they actually started a little late.
Mhm.
おたまさん自体は何タファなんですか
あ僕自身はね何タファなんですかねこの20タファぐらいあるんです
Steven, are you going to be reviewing the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 2019 exclusive?
Yeah.
ったら計算したらバレます
相当でかい
I'm going to actually look into that a bit more
このタファ1位という感じ
to see about how that can happen.
もういいありがとうございましたおたまさんありがとういや
I hear what you're saying.
And regarding a previous conversation, we have had about later this month, orders just so happen to close around that time as well. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hopefully something can happen.
大好き大好き
いいですよね。女の子も好きです。
Yeah.
でも確かに宇垣さんの家行ってビオランテやったらちょっと好きになるかもめちゃくちゃ好きだ
Now, this question is actually interesting because we have another exclusive that we need to review, but we're kind of currently in the same boat, stuck in transit somewhere. The Burning Godzilla, neither one of us have yet.
My order, I had to cancel because it was absolutely
wow.
outrageous. Yeah, so they actually refunded me, and
Okay.
I just pre-ordered one with BBTS, and I'm waiting.
Okay. Okay. You might get it before I get it. You know, mine's stuck in Zen Market's warehouse. And, you know, stuck in packaging. They're still packaging it for days now. How long does it take it? So, yeah, I mean, that's something, you know, eventually we will review.
Yep.
Looking forward to that.
Yep, and then on my end, there's going to be so much more that's going to happen with that figure and other King of the Monsters, which you should all be able to read into what I'm talking about. They're waving. Why are you waving?
I guess we're done here. So we get no other reveals. I had a feeling 2, and then another one for the U.S. market, I guess. I think is enough. I wanted more. For the sake of this stream, I wanted more. But, you know, it is what it is. Steven is, he's done.
Yeah.
Let's see. Paul Hillman says personally he doesn't mind that Biollante is basically the same as the original, but that it probably kind of sucks for you guys. Doesn't suck for me. I'm not gonna get it then. I will put my money into that EVA 01, which is much less, and much bigger. And EVA 01 has done pretty good for the channel, so I'll be happy to put my money there instead.
Again, I'm on the fence on this one. I don't know if I do want to. The answer is probably going to be no. Now, on this note, for those of you who are on my end, I put a particular figure up, which I have since repainted. I want to turn the discussion there for a minute. Let's go somewhere positive and a bit more speculative. No King Ghidorah 64.
Right. I said from the beginning, let's not call it a bootleg till we know for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still wondering where this came
almost a year
from.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is almost a year later now.
Yeah.
Here's a question that's fitting for what we're talking about right now. Can you review the SH MonsterArts, Mothra, and Rodan bootleg? I don't think I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Steven?
Funny thing about that, and Godzilla 154, our discussion about that still stands. If you did not get yours on your own, I actually ordered them, and it turns out other folks have ordered them as well. And for whatever reason, the sellers have been taking the wings off of Rodan, but just have been ripping them off because they're shipping them in styrofoam containers that aren't big enough for Rodan. So the wingspan of Rodan is longer than the actual box is. So they've been ripping the wings off, but the people who are packing them, they don't know how a ball joint works, so they're just ripping them off like a silverback gorilla. So they're breaking them.
Wow.
So it's happened to me, and I've seen at least 4 other instances of that. So I have a set. It's sitting in storage. It's broken. So.
Ouch. Well, I'm kind of glad that dropped during my, buying freeze that I had from between February and June. So, I was like, I'm not going to get this. Yeah, so I didn't know about that at all. I hadn't watched anybody's reviews on it either, honestly.
I will say one more thing on it, though. If they were to have arrived in perfect condition, aside from Mothra, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a bootleg and a real thing.
Oh, wow.
I will say that much. So.
Huh. And that Showa Ghidorah was pretty nice. I didn't repaint mine, but I really should. I was impressed overall with it. It was very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice sculpt. So where'd it come from? Don't know. We don't know.
I'm still convinced it's a hijacked Bandai mold myself.
It's possible. But I'm surprised we haven't, a year later, we have not seen it.
Yeah, no one's done anything with it. If it is official. So
you would think at this point.
Right. So on a somewhat related note, keeping it Showa, there are so many folks talking about Showa in my chat here that I'm looking at. And one kaiju keeps coming up again and again and again, and that's Anguirus. And I'm not going to lie, I'm very surprised that they haven't touched Anguirus yet. Admittedly, the Rebel Tech, very good.
It is amazing.
Yes.
It's really good.
But why haven't we seen MonsterArts yet? I mean, obviously, there's the idea that the person who's running the SH MonsterArts line at this time is a Heisei fanboy, but Anguirus is a part of the Toho 6, if it were to be.
I don't know. This, it's one of my favorite Toho kaiju. So I would love to get an SH MonsterArts, but as you said, I don't know. This Revoltech, it's the best Revoltech that they did. So good. So good. Well, here there. What are some SH MonsterArts figures that you guys would have liked to have seen tonight? Steven, you want to start?
Start from here. We'll end here. On the Monster Hunter end, you know, for those of you who are playing World, we have Alatreon Spyro coming out for another title update. They definitely could have done that. Fantastic timing there. Devil Joe, again, we could have had Zenogre, Nergigante, Tomato. So many different Monster Hunter releases. For Godzilla, I'm very surprised we haven't seen Skull Island Kong, which we should have definitely seen sooner rather than later. We have a Showa Mecha Godzilla. Why don't we have a Showa Godzilla counterpart to go with that? Again, Anguirus has appeared alongside Mecha Godzilla. Why haven't we seen that? I think popular-wise, why not Showa Mothra or Showa Rodan? And I would like to see them grow alongside the MonsterArts line. I'll keep it vague like that to keep it PG. Where are the Gamera enemies?
Yeah. Seriously. I mean, I feel like, except for Gamera 3 there, the Gamera figures came out pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been great to see something there. I don't know. You know, what is it with that? Like, why can't we get more Gamera figures in general? I mean, the movie Monster Series piece that came out a couple months ago is gorgeous. Like, I want to see Bandai do more. Give us some more Gamera stuff. That would be awesome. You know, somebody else earlier in the stream, if I could find it, asked a good question. I missed it, but oh well. It was regarding the Aroke 8-headed dragon. I would love to have seen stuff from that. Obviously, we got, you know, well, I forget the Robo Mecha thing's name. There was a prototype of that a long time ago now.
Yeah.
Forget that one's name, you know. But that movie, it's kind of like forgotten at this point. So I doubt we'll ever see anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, what may happen for those of you who follow along with Bandai, not just in the SH MonsterArts realm, but sort of as a whole, they do have the tendency to show prototypes, not with the intention of necessarily releasing them. They have the intention to show them because they think that this may work, but they want feedback. What they used to actually do is put no photo placards up with the intention for you to take pictures to see how far those would spread online to generate feedback and to see how many different pictures would be taken. That comes from a former Bandai employee. With that being said, that was around the time where they would have the different techniques to make sure that they would get accurate feedback. But anyway, the point being is that if you look at something like Master Asia, the Figuarts, that went unreleased for years, and then finally it was released. So nothing is ever canceled. It's just put way back in the vault. And we'll probably never see it effectively canceled, but...
Well, somebody asked about the Evangelion Angels. Never going to see those. Never. Another thing locked in the vault forever.
Yeah, probably not, though I will say with the not 2.0 robot spirits that they're doing, maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah. They might just do it in the robot spirits line, you know? It's not that strange to have done it. You know, maybe, I don't know. Or you might get some Sovi spirit stuff, like the kaiju from Pacific Rim 2. Who knows? Because those weren't like the angels. I don't know. They don't make for great action figures. You know?
Yeah, they're, what was it? Sakiel, the one with the gray skull for the face. That one,
Mhm.
yeah, sure.
Sure,
Otherwise, no. The rest of them are relatively
Yeah.
static. But I mean, if they can release them, fantastic. That would be awesome for those who want them. If they can do them at a relatively affordable price, absolutely.
Mhm.
You know, let's get them out there on the market for those who want them. But
To answer a NECA question, unfortunately, if you haven't heard, I'll read the question anyway. Would you like to see a NECA Godzilla 2004? Unfortunately, NECA is on a hiatus, so they won't be making any. And I do this because there's no real such thing as a hiatus on a license that I know of personally. You know, I would have loved for them to have done a 2004. I would love for anybody to do a 2004 that isn't a giant figure. But NECA won't be doing anything further than the 2 figures that are about to drop right now.
mm-hmm. Right. You know, NECA, I highlighted this in my Kong video that once Kong is released, because it's going to appeal to the exact same people who have bought not only pretty much all of NECA's Godzilla stuff, but also the Pacific Rim. This will allow everyone to get a taste of what NECA can do when they're at full, when they're firing on all pistons, so to speak, when they're putting their A game into it. Because Kong, universally from everyone, speaks, Steven. Everyone says it looks good. And having experience with their Ultimate Horror figures, with some of their good retro cloth stuff, this looks to be in that same caliber as those figures that I know are good. So knowing that those figures that I know are good are significantly better than their Godzilla offerings, so Kong's going to be good. That being said, if they can do that level for 2004 Final Wars, absolutely do it. Otherwise, you know, hey, if they can do it one day, great. If not, I won't necessarily be heartbroken on that.
Well, speaking of the people that do have the license, can you please review Godzilla vs. Kong 2020 Playmates Toys? I plan to. Steven, I don't know what your plan is for that, but I definitely plan to if I could get my hands on them. They're all going to be Walmart exclusives, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as of right now, the plan is, but the bigger issue for me is just going to be time when they come out. You know, what's going on in the world or my personal life then.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying for anything, you know, that we do. But, you know, we're planning on, you know, NECA Kong. You know, we're planning on Playmates Toys Kong. Whenever the Shima drops Kong, you know, all that stuff for sure. Here's an interesting question. Could it be possible NECA might do their own take on Godzilla, similar to what they're doing with the new Kong, unique design and all? I like the idea of that. Honestly, I think that's a cool idea. However, you still need a license to do it.
Right. And the technicality with Kong, I believe, is that it's not necessarily the movie. I think it's the character that is in the public domain, so they're able to do that. Whereas Godzilla, not the case. And I do believe it was Tanaka's family or Honda's family who tried to sue Toho to get it into the public domain or into their estate. I forget who it was, but it was somebody involved in the original's production, and they lost on that. So Toho's got an iron grip, and it ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's something I want to really mention. It's not really a question or anything. Pacific Rim 3, The Curse of Otachi. Whatever that means, I don't know. But I would love to see more Pacific Rim movies, series, the Netflix series I haven't heard anything about in quite a while. And obviously, give me more toys. I love that universe.
Mm-hmm. Completely agreed. My Ultimate Gypsy Danger sitting by itself, which is why it hasn't shown up in some of my videos. I used to use it as a size comparison. Randomly decided to blow up, so I threw it out. When I say randomly blew up, I picked it up one day, and not only did the knee fall off, but so did the elbow.
Oh, yeah, mine recently too.
Randomly. So with that being said, I don't think any company has given the series the love that it deserves. And when I say that it deserves is because even if you're not necessarily a fan of the movie Pacific Rim, I'm not talking about Uprising because I fell asleep during my second watch through. Nelson, you're in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. The designs are interesting. The love put into all of the designs, fantastic. You know, Guillermo del Toro, it just deserves so much more. Bandai, Soul of Chogokin, Robot Spirits, Super Robot Chogokin, Metal Build, they have the possibility to do all that. I know some former employees at Bandai said, hey, we want to hit the ground running with this, and you know we're going to do it right, and they didn't. I know that generally speaking, today's Bandai I really love. I think they're doing some fantastic things, and they've been able to turn stuff around, but I really do want to hold all the companies responsible because they said that they were able to do a lot with this license, and they really haven't been. I know some of the folks who I've spoken with, Otachi is considered, it's a de facto MonsterArts. Everybody loves Land Otachi. If you have it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is of such a high quality figure. Some have reported
I didn't have it.
Yeah, it's very, very good. But
I have the winged one.
We don't have any amazing Pacific Rim figures, and there should be no reason for that.
I agree with you. I like the Robot Spirit stuff of the Uprising, but like you said, you're not really talking about that. But I do like them. They could have been better, but you know. You're right. We needed some sort of really good figure, but unless that Netflix series gets off the ground, I feel like it's grounded right now as a license. Like there's nothing like keeping it going. No comics, no nothing, and that's a little disheartening. You need buzz, you know?
Yeah. And I would even like to dial it back just a little bit regarding the Robot Spirits. I'm even referencing the Pacific Rim Uprising ones. I think while good, they could have definitely been better. I think the Plamos were good. They were good. I do have the DX Gypsy Avenger, which is good, but it's a model. It's not a figure.
Yeah. No, it's not a figure. No, definitely. See, we have any. That's interesting. Wasn't there supposed to be a new Otachi by Diamond Select or something? I remember seeing a picture years ago. No. I don't think so.
So to dial it back just a little bit to earlier in the conversation when we were talking about sometimes Bandai likes to put things in the vault but not necessarily cancel it. Alongside the Soul of Chogokin Gypsy Danger, they showed Crimson Typhoon and Striker Eureka and Cherno Alpha. Alongside that, they showed Asafi Spirits DX Otachi to go along with those. So there is a picture of that is floating around. Yes, they did. I will try to find it, and I will try to even throw it up on my end.
Yeah, do that because I don't remember that.
Yes.
I had seen a few of the Soul of Chogokin stuff in person that never came out, and they were beautiful. really beautiful. I'm really disappointed we didn't get those because they were better than Gypsy Danger was. They were very, very nice. Crimson Typhoon was chef's kiss, like amazing looking in person. So yeah, I don't remember the Otachi, but it was definitely not Diamond Select. I've met with Diamond Select many times. There was never any plans past what they gave us, unfortunately. So yeah, it could have been good. You know, the what was the one that they gave us called? I forget which one it was.
Oh,
but
Hakuja?
from Hakuja, that came out pretty decent. You know, not amazing, but decent enough where I would have liked to have seen more kaiju from them. But c'est la vie.
Yeah, so the reason why you didn't see that Otachi specifically is that it was shown at the Tamashii Nations that year, where they were all shown off in Japan. So it was never shown in the US. It was shown once, and the only way that we were able to see it was in a very poor magazine scan highlighting the event.
Ah, okay,
So
I never saw it.
Yes, that unfortunately should show everyone why it was not made, because nobody took pictures of it. Nobody was interested.
Ah, couldn't they have brought it here so I could have taken plenty of pictures that I wasn't supposed to take?
Yep.
Oh well. Is what it is. And I think on that note, maybe we should start winding this down.
Yes, yes.
So, Steven, what do you have coming up that kaiju fans might be interested in?
Coming up, I am working behind the scenes, so I can't say too much about potential deals with different early reviews, and Ultrazilla, I think you are in the same ballpark with that particular shape there. This should ring a bell. It's a it's a diamond. So that should hopefully go over well. There are some D for reals, which unfortunately, due to COVID-19, delayed coming in. So I am working on getting those up. And then the course as usual, everything that is coming out, it's going to go up on the channel.
Yeah, some related stuff that I got coming up, like really, really soon. Gonna be doing some Ultraman stuff. I recently finally got something in from Japan. I showed one off before. That's the Ultraman Z figure. This is a really cool line if you can't afford SH Figure Arts, the Ultra Action figure line. Very nice, posable, very, very posable, honestly. So reviewing this, if you're into Ultraman Z, stay tuned for that. I got a Ginga Sovi Spirits finally, which is actually really nice. I was showing it to Steven, and some more Ultraman stuff. And then hopefully we could get Godzilla stuff in. Hopefully my Burning Godzilla will come in at some point soon. So yeah, and then I'll see. I got a lot of backlog stuff still working through. But yeah, like Steven mentioned, there should be some con exclusives possibly coming up. We shall see. Either way, whether I could work out a deal for it or not, you're gonna see something here.
Yes. And I just covered up everything that's on the screen, but for those of you who are in my chat right now, I just threw up the
Oh,
Otachi.
there it is.
Yep.
Wow. I have never seen that before.
Yep. Not everybody, unfortunately, has, and that is why we never got it.
I don't remember that. Yeah. Oh man, that's disappointing.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, on that note.
Yep. End the night on a sad note.
Oh.
All right.
All right, guys. But we thank you all for joining us both here on this multi-stream watch along. nothing crazy going on from the Tamashii features show that we hadn't seen, but there was a lot to talk about, so I'm glad we did this. For sure.
Absolutely, and this is something that I think we should do again. So
Yeah.
when? Not
Probably
sure,
soon.
but we'll talk
maybe
about it.
soon. Maybe soon. Oh, one last thing. This is an interesting one. Because I am getting it. Are you going to get any of the reborn not King Kongs?
There is one based off of a particular Primal Rage character. It's already on pre-order.
Ah, so you're going to get that one. I'm going to get the Peter Jackson one to go with my Kong collection. It's kind of just a gorilla, but, you know, that's what that Kong was. So...
Yeah, I thought about it for the purposes of just scaling with Vanilla Ice, or the Vanilla Ices. Wait,
Yeah.
Ices? But I'm not a huge Kong fan, so
Oh,
we'll see.
yeah, see, I am. So that's for me is cool. But I'll be looking forward to seeing your Primal Rage one.
Yes, definitely. It'll be fun.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in once again. You guys have a great night. Stay tuned for plenty more kaiju action on both of our channels. Till next time. Peace out, peeps.
Yes, definitely. And be sure to subscribe to both Ultrazilla and STR.
That's good. That's good,
All right.
Steven. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Yep. Well,
Peace out, peeps.
I don't get paid at all. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.